beautiful souls. Today I have decided to get to some of the question and answers, or to the questions, and I will provide the answers that people sent to me quite some time ago when I was doing a few Q&A channelings. And so I decided today that I would get to some of your questions and provide those. So they're talking about the stock market and about having children on the scale of autism, and a variety of questions here that I think often will benefit everyone. And the Council of Nine are present with me today to address these questions. So the first one comes from Anne, and the question is, could you please ask if the stock market will be okay in these changing times and in the future? George the Tree said that there would be a change to our monetary system in the future, so I am curious. So we'll see what the Council of Nine have to say. First of all, they want to welcome you all. And a little clearing happening. Greetings, beloveds. Greetings from the love and light of all that is. Greetings from the great central sun as we come before you in joy and delight. And we say to you, blessed humans of the earth, we see you in many stages of transition into the higher frequencies, transition into the light. And we say to you, there have been efforts upon your planet within the last 3 or 4 days that have greatly benefited humanity, and the assurance of your success in the future of restoring the light on this planet, moving into the 5th dimensional frequencies, and bringing about the life of grace that the true humans desire to be living. And so, for those of you who are aware and who are tuned in, you may be feeling a stillness the last few days, less of the turmoil, less of the chaos. And it is because of this efforts that the light workers have undertaken that have benefited you. So we are happy to deliver that news that the very humans who must be the ones to change this earth are coming together now in greater numbers as light workers, finding the information you need that meets your truth, and being of service in ways that are the greatest benefit to your evolution and to Gaia's evolution as well. So we are delighted and we commend you for your service and your dedication to the light. And now to meet the question that has been asked about the stock market. We would say that indeed all the systems of your earth are going to change. Monetary, education, even the way your families come together, health systems, they are all going to change. And what we would like you to know is that often humans try to outwit the system, you could say, or try to figure out how things are going to go and what the outcome would be. And what we would suggest, instead of trying to be one step ahead of the game, is to have faith that whatever the outcome is, it is what serves your highest good. Because one could move one's money around in the stock market, for example, or withdraw your money from the stock market and put it in the bank, only to find that perhaps the banking system changes, or perhaps the stocks that you invested in change. So it is a matter of having faith that everyone is going to be led in the direction that best serves their highest good. What we want you to know, what many people don't carry in the frequency of their daily expression, is that life supports you. It may not look like that in this outer world, but when you are walking with the light, dedicated to the light, dedicated to be of service, believing in the higher perspective of all that is here to support humanity and your evolution back to the light. When you are living in that awareness with faith in the creator of all that is, faith in what many call the light, then you are going to be led to the direction that best serves your evolution. And then your step, instead of trying to figure things out, is to feel into where your soul is wanting to direct you. So if people could spend less time in their minds and more time in their hearts, in tune with their own higher guidance, you will find that life will lead you to the direction that is absolutely perfect for you. However, if you are resistant to that information, if you receive nudges and guidance, but you resist because of this, I can't because of this, I can't because I can't leave my job, I can't move, I can't leave these people behind. There are so many reasons that you use not to follow the nudgings of your soul. Well, then it is your decisions in those moments that may create what you could call unbeneficial outcomes because you didn't tune into the promptings of your soul and follow the promptings of your own inner guidance. It can take a lot of inner work to trust your own inner guidance enough to, for example, leave people behind. Not that you do this without care, but that you don't allow the opinions of others to direct your life any longer. When you get in touch with your own inner guidance, your direction may be different from someone else's, and you let yourself go there because you trust your own inner guidance. So in doing that, maybe some friends will have different viewpoints and won't want to follow you where you go. Well, if you're unwilling to give up those friendships, then you hold yourself back. But if you're willing to follow your inner guidance, knowing and trusting that it's leading you to your highest good, then you will find yourself in the right place for you. You will have new friends that are a frequency match for your new frequency match, most likely. And you will be living in circumstances that meet your new frequency match. So often people are integrating the new higher frequencies, but holding themselves back. So when you allow yourself to drop from the mind into the heart, know your inner knowing, trust your inner knowing, trust your intuition, and trust the higher guidance that is supporting you, then you will simply be in the flow and allow yourself to be in the right place, making the right decisions for you at the right times. So in response to this request, we would say, drop into your heart and just say, okay, Spirit, if something needs to change with my investments, I trust that you will show me the way. I trust that I will receive the inner guidance, and I will make my decisions based on that inner guidance. And then just relax and let it go and live your life and be open to receiving again those nudges, that guidance that comes from the heart like a small, gentle voice, but it's a knowing. Often when this one channels for people, it's really just a confirmation of what they've been receiving in themselves. And it's nice to get that confirmation, to know, okay, it helps people know, okay, I can trust my inner guidance. So notice when you trust your inner guidance and you follow it, what the outcome is. It will help you see, oh yes, I can see the benefit of doing this. So thank you, beloved one, for this question. Okay, thank you. So someone else is asking, can you ask them about the calendar? Do we need to follow lunar or solar? Beloved, we would say to you that there are many systems, many planetary systems and calendar systems that one could choose to follow. Whichever one you follow is going to lead you to different influences, different outcomes. And it's going to be a slight shift in your internal awareness based on where you are putting your focus, because your focus brings about your reality and has an impact upon your reality. So for the one who is inquiring here, we would say a solar-based calendar would be the most beneficial for you. For some people, the lunar-based calendar becomes too emotional and they become too connected to cycles that bring them into states of being that are more emotional and can actually throw them out of balance. So if you are someone who is very empathic or someone who recognizes that you are highly emotional, then it is very important that the calendar that you are choosing to follow is going to bring about balance. Or if you are someone who has low fire energy in your life, then following a solar calendar is going to help to bring that fire energy back into your life. So we hope that is of benefit. Okay. The next one. How do we counteract the programming most of us have received from school and culture? I feel I'm unaware of some of my childhood programs, and I would love to learn of a way to understand and change deeply ingrained unhealthy patterns. Beloved, this is a powerful question indeed. And we would say to you that it is the way of this ascension of integrating all the higher energy frequencies that are coming to the earth at this time to discover and release these inner programs. So we are delighted that you have brought this up. There are many techniques. One is to become aware of your patterns of resistance. So, for example, this one used to run from emotional situations. So if something that was coming up that was emotional, she would distract herself. She would get busy doing something. She would move all the time. And all of these were efforts to distract herself from being fully present with what she's feeling. So notice some people use drugs and alcohol. Some people just zone out and sit in front of a screen. Some people work out excessively. Some people eat. Come to recognize what your patterns are of distracting yourself from the inner feelings. Because that's the first step. If you notice, oh, here I am doing this pattern. What is it I'm trying to distract myself from? What was I really feeling here? Because sometimes even as the feelings come to the surface, people immediately distract themselves and turn their back on those feelings so they don't even make the connection. So that's why we are suggesting this as the first step. And then once you are aware, oh, here I am doing that pattern again. Here I am in my pattern of moving away from really feeling what my feelings are. Once you recognize that pattern, then you can say, okay, there must be a feeling here somewhere that I'm trying to avoid. And then you sit with it, you contemplate, you give yourself time, even half an hour. I'm just going to sit for half an hour and really connect in and feel what I'm feeling and name it. Oh, I'm feeling guilty because of this. Oh, I'm feeling rejected because this happened. Oh, I'm feeling abandoned right now. Wow, I'm really feeling angry and I'm trying to suppress that anger. Oh, I'm feeling so sad. I'm close to tears and I'm afraid if I cry, I'll never stop crying. Or I simply don't know how to cry. Why don't I know how to cry? So when you sit and find the feeling, then the key, doing this on your own without finding a practitioner to support you, there are certainly many practitioners that can do this now. If you choose to do it on your own, is to really sit with that feeling. And the magic is that when you really sit with the feeling, it will pass through. It won't live with you for the next 3 months. It could be gone tomorrow. But it requires that being present with it. Can you allow yourself to have a bad day and really be feeling this deep held feeling within you, really be present with it and love it free. Love it. Say, oh my goodness, this sense of abandonment is so strong. I feel so rejected by life. Wow, isn't that something? I feel so rejected by life. Another tool is to simply say that 10 times. I feel rejected by life. I feel rejected. I feel rejected right now. And just repeat that over and over and over. And in doing that, you're loving it. You're allowing it to come higher and higher and higher into your awareness. And then it simply passes through. That's all it ever wanted. But humans learn through your culture, as you have said, to suppress, to not feel, through parenting that gets passed down and down and down until somebody breaks the cycle. So, beloveds, this question is key to rising up into the higher frequencies, because you don't do that when you're carrying the dense frequencies of these deep emotions. So we commend you for this question and for your willingness to do the work. And we would say to you that it can bring up great fear, because you're overriding patterns that you developed to survive as a child. So when you're now wanting to give up those patterns, it can feel like you're going to die, because the patterns were to protect you. And in order to gain love, you had to hold these patterns. So know, beloveds, that giving them up can be very fearful. So don't allow that to stop you. Okay, again, we thank you for this question. Okay. Here is the next question. I am an Australian woman with English ancestry. By spirit, in guidance and resonance of a former life, in brackets, I am Native American. I feel so completely displaced in both my body and my country at the moment. If I try to express my Native American identity, I am labeled culturally misappropriating. I feel very at home with my Native American family and spirit, yet I'm afraid to offend Native Americans alive today by expressing my spirit culture. I feel misunderstood by both white and black, as though in no man's land. Where is the place for people such as myself, with no physical proof of ancestry, yet desperately trying to connect and be outwardly expressive of that place in the heart called home? What a beautiful question. Here is what they say. Beloved soul, here is the simple answer. It is a matter of coming home to your own heart and trusting that place and expressing who you are, regardless of how others receive it. If others try to tell you that you're misappropriating your identity, simply allow them to have that perspective. You can explain that we've all held many identities in our past life experiences if you choose to. You can explain to them that we are limitless beings who have lived hundreds of incarnations. And so it's very natural, especially in this incarnation at this time, for us to express all the wisdom, all the grace, all the awareness that we have developed through those many lifetimes. However, if they cannot receive it, if they are so locked into their own victim energy, which often is identified with this feeling of not wanting others to misappropriate their representation, often it is connected with a victim energy that is connected with their cultural identity because of past trauma and pain, that keeps them then limited in their perspective. And if this is the case, and if this is where they are, you can simply bless them in their perspective, which they are entitled to hold. But it is when you come back to your own heart and know within your own heart that you are all of this, and that is your divine birthright to express all of this, the more you drop into your own authenticity within yourself, those who can see you in your authenticity will find you. So it's a bit of a mirror, which life always is, that there's a part of you that hasn't been fully embracing this multicultural aspect of who you are. And therefore, those who would meet you at this level of accepting a multicultural intelligence and wisdom and ancestry cannot find you. So the moment you become totally authentic in that within yourself, then that's what you will express. You will express that authenticity, and those who can meet you there will find you. So it is a matter of coming back to the heart, fully authentic in all of that within yourself, free of any fear of condemnation in expressing that, or losing your family, losing your tribe. How can you lose your tribe when you belong to everyone? When you are this unity consciousness, even the ancestry that you're expressing is showing that you are this unity consciousness. You cannot lose your tribe, beloved. You're simply losing those who are carrying a different frequency of thought that you are now residing in, who can't meet you where you are or see what you're expressing. And so just allow that to fall away and know that as you step more fully into your integrity of the wholeness of who you are, then those who are also whole and residing in that frequency that is a match of where you are in that full expression will find you, and you will find your sense of belonging. But first, that sense of belonging must come within your own heart and then be expressed into the world as such. We love you so, beloved, and we thank you for your contribution. Okay, thank you. How much time? 22. Interesting. Okay. Let's do one more here. This is a rather long question. Pardon me. Well, this person asked it of the Elohim, and I'm channeling the Council of Nine right now. So I'm going to go to the next question. So this person has 3 out of 4 of our children are autistic, high functioning, and in the LGBTQ community. And we've really been struggling with that. In our previous teaching/community, we were told that this means that they will go through the second death. So since returning to the US, we have stayed isolated from our beloved community. If you have anything we can read about this as well, we'd so much appreciate it. Beautiful, beautiful beings of light who are asking these questions. We want you to know that these children have been born through you for your own learning and education, and also for your ability to love these children in their expansive freedom that they are showing the world. We want you to know that your children are forcing you and the world to see and accept patterns of behavior that are somewhat new on your planet, that are expansive, that know no boundaries. They are showing you that it is time to be limitless and break down the barriers of what has been acceptable in your society as a manner of being, as a way of living. They have come through their own lives, not by demonstrating on the streets, but simply through their own very personal choices, which they, because of their presence on the autism scale, have put them in a mindset that allows them to break free from the parameters of the restrictions of what your social norms have been. this was done very intentionally so that they would be liberated from those norms. By their very presence and their way of living and their personal choices, they are breaking down barriers. And this is what they are about. And so for you, and what you describe as your beloved community, please know that you have brought these children in to help this community understand their restrictions and their limitations that no longer fit into the world that's being created at this time. They don't fit into the new world. Traditions of the old world, traditions that have been handed down for eons of time, traditions that hold formal structure outside of the self, that dictate to the individual what their life should be and how it should be, are structures that are falling away because humanity is moving out of a phase where they needed community for support, for survival, into returning to your sovereignty as individuals, knowing your expansiveness, knowing your abilities, knowing your creativity, knowing your freedom of expressing all that you are without any restrictions, without any parameters saying that's not acceptable. And then in that willingness to be diverse yourself from the cultural norm, as more and more individuals allow their autonomy, which means breaking away from the tribe and allowing yourself to be individually different from the norms, then you develop this environment, this world where everybody is so uniquely themselves that you develop this deep appreciation for the diversity, which is what is required for unity consciousness. Because there is no the same or just like us, and this pattern of having to be just like this one image of beauty, just like this one age bracket of beauty and appreciation, just like this one physical appearance, this one modus of behavior, it has restricted you, it's held you back, and it's created great despair and hardship on your planet. People have not been free to be who they are. They've received the message from a very early point in life, who you are is not okay. You must fit this category. And souls and hearts are deeply wounded by that. You mean the beautiful, radiant brilliance, creativity, joy, expansiveness that I was born into as a little child? That's not okay? It's heartbreaking, but you haven't realized it. And so these beautiful children that you've brought into the world, they don't fit into that. And they are here to show you that this is what expansion looks like. And if you are very, very brave, you will liberate yourselves and allow yourself to follow in the footsteps of these children and people around the world who are expressing freely who they are outside of the acceptable limits of society. They're breaking down the barriers of restriction that have held you back from being the true essence of who you are. And we bow deeply to you for being present with these children from a place of deep love and grace. And to these children for their willingness to come in and be so different in service to all life. And so it is, beloved souls. We are the Council of Nine. It has been our deepest honor and delight to be present with you, to share this information with you this day. And to all we say, hold true to the light, hold true to what's in your own heart, for you are the creator of your reality, and you are limitless. We love you so. Okay, everyone. I trust this was supportive. I think some really beautiful answers came through there. Sending you all so much love. Bye-bye. And my thanks to everyone who submitted these questions as well.